Ladies and gentlemen, there will come a time, perhaps it's already arrived, when you look around and find no one beside you. No hand to hold, no words to comfort you, just you and the echo of your thoughts. Many fear this moment, they run from it. Fill the silence with distractions. But I tell you now, that moment is not your end, it is your beginning. In the quiet, you will come face to face with the truth. You have been waiting for others to give you permission to grow, waiting for support, for encouragement, for rescue. But those things, while comforting, are not required. What is required is the decision to rise, to take your broken pieces, your forgotten dreams, your hidden strength, and begin the process of becoming. Alone, yes, but not powerless. You must stop waiting for someone to understand your pain before you begin healing. Stop waiting for someone to believe in your vision before you act. The only person who needs to believe in you right now is you. If you can summon that belief, even the size of a seed, and plant it with discipline, you will grow into someone unrecognizable to your past self. There is power in walking alone, for when no one is around to clap for you, to cheer for you, to recognize your effort, you begin to operate from something deeper. You stop working for validation and begin working from conviction. You stop depending on praise and start depending on purpose. And that shift changes everything. In this phase, you will meet resistance, not just from the world. Your mind will pull you back to comfort, to excuses, to fear. But remember, the version of you that is trying to hold on is not strong enough to carry you where you are going. You must let go of who you were to become, who you are meant to be. Let the old identity fall away. Let the comfort crumble. Let the silence teach. Discipline is no longer a punishment. It becomes your promise to yourself. When you rise before the sun to work, when you study while others rest, when you act while others wait, you are writing a new contract with your future. You are saying, I no longer seek permission. I no longer delay destiny. I am ready now. You must feed your mind with intention, because the thoughts you think today will become the life you live tomorrow. Do not let idle conversation, toxic company, or weak beliefs take root. You must protect your mind like a vault. Read, listen, study, reflect. Let your vision drown out the noise. Let your dreams be louder than your doubt. And when hardship comes, and it will, you must not shrink. You must not ask, why me? But rather, what is this building in me? Because adversity is the proving ground of strength. It is the storm that sharpens the blade. Every time life tests you, you have a choice: break or become unbreakable, cry or rise, retreat or rebuild. Choose wisely, and if you fall, fall forward. If you are tired, rest but don't quit. The world does not reward those who start with fire but end in ash. It rewards those who persist when no one sees, who push when no one claps, who believe when no one agrees. You may be alone right now, but you are not abandoned. This is the sacred space where reinvention begins, where you learn to trust yourself again, where you become dangerous in the best way. Because once you've rebuilt yourself without the noise, the crowd, the applause, you become unstoppable. You become a person of value, a person of vision, a person of purpose. So rebuild, not out of revenge, but out of revelation. Rebuild not because the world owes you, but because you owe it to yourself to become everything you were created to be. The isolation is temporary. The results will echo for a lifetime. This is the powerful mindset that changes everything. And it begins now, alone, but not afraid, because you are not rebuilding to return. You are rebuilding to rise. Let me know if you'd like this formatted as a teleprompter script, converted into a short form version for Reel Shorts, or if you'd like custom music or B-roll suggestions to go with it. Isolation is often misunderstood. To many, it feels like punishment, a sign of failure, or a place reserved for the broken and forgotten. But those who have truly transformed, who have risen from mediocrity to mastery, know a deeper truth: isolation is not a prison. It's a forge. It's where the fire of greatness is born. When the world grows quiet and distractions fade, what's left is the raw, unfiltered you. That's where the real work begins. In solitude, there's no one to impress, no masks to wear, no performances to give. There is only truth. And while that truth can be uncomfortable, it is also powerful. In isolation, you begin to hear your inner voice again, the one you silenced for years to fit in, to please others, to avoid judgment. That voice may whisper at first, but with time and commitment it begins to roar. That voice is your real self, the one with vision, with purpose, with something meaningful to give the world. Most people avoid isolation because it exposes their weaknesses. But if you can face those weaknesses with courage and honesty, you unlock the ability to change them. When you're alone, you realize where you've been drifting, where you've settled, where you've lied to yourself. And from that awareness comes the power to choose differently. Isolation gives you space to rebuild, not just habits or routines, but identity. Who do you want to be when no one is watching? What do you believe in when there's no crowd to follow? What will you create when there's no one to validate it? These questions are not just philosophical. They are the foundation of every breakthrough. Use this time alone to refine your discipline. Set standards and hold yourself to them. Learn to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own greatest ally. That kind of self-reliance is rare, and it's what sets the strong apart from the merely comfortable. When you come out of isolation, you won't be the same person who went in. You'll be clearer, sharper, stronger. You'll have built the kind of internal power that doesn't depend on anyone else's approval. Isolation is not something to fear. It's something to respect, because if you use it wisely, it becomes the birthplace of your evolution, a place where noise turns into clarity, where insecurity turns into strength, and where potential finally meets purpose. When you learn to embrace that silence, you are no longer running from yourself. You're finally running toward who you were meant to become. Most people think of discipline as restriction. They see it as a chain that keeps you from enjoying life, a rigid system that kills spontaneity and freedom. But this belief couldn't be further from the truth. Discipline isn't a prison. It's the very thing that creates freedom. Without it, life becomes chaotic, directionless, and reactionary. With it, you become unstoppable. Discipline is not about punishing yourself or living like a machine. It's about aligning your actions with your vision. It's about choosing long-term strength over short-term comfort. When you are disciplined, you are no longer controlled by impulses, emotions, or external noise. You become the master of your own mind. That is real freedom. Discipline is what separates dreams from results. Everyone has dreams, but only the disciplined turn those dreams into reality. Without discipline, goals remain distant hopes. With it, they become inevitable outcomes. It's not about how you feel today. It's about what you've committed to for the next 100 days, the next year, the next chapter of your life. Freedom is not found in doing whatever you want. That's chaos. Real freedom is found in being able to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. You don't rise by chance. You rise by choice. And the most powerful choice you can make is to show up daily, no matter the circumstances. It's not glamorous. There's no applause. No one sees the early mornings, the late nights, the quiet moments where you resist the easy way out. But those moments build something extraordinary within you. They build character, consistency, and confidence. They build the version of you that others eventually admire, but only you will ever know what it truly cost. When you are disciplined, you stop being a slave to distractions. You stop being pulled in every direction. You set a course and you walk it with intention. You start to trust yourself, not because of empty motivation, but because your actions prove your commitment. You no longer wait for the perfect mood, the perfect timing, or the perfect opportunity. You create your own momentum. That's when life starts to open up, because discipline creates results, and results build self-respect. And here's the truth: discipline is a skill, not a gift, not a talent, but a skill. That means anyone can develop it, including you. It starts with small choices: waking up when you said you would, saying no when it's easier to say yes, pushing through when quitting would be more comfortable. Those small decisions stack up. Over time, they shape a new identity, one rooted in strength, not excuses. So no, discipline isn't restriction. It's the path to a life where you're no longer controlled by fear, laziness, or outside pressure. It's the path to freedom, The kind of freedom that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself, that you're not driven by mood swings or temporary feelings, but by purpose. When you live like that, you're not just free, you're dangerous. Because a person who is both disciplined and clear about their mission is a force this world cannot stop. There comes a time in your life when holding on to who you used to be becomes the very thing that holds you back. That old identity, the one shaped by fear, failure, doubt, and the opinions of others, must be burned if you're serious about becoming something greater. You can't carry the weight of past mistakes and expect to rise. You can't cling to outdated habits, limiting beliefs, or stories you've told yourself for years and expect transformation. Growth demands a sacrifice, and often that sacrifice is who you once were. The truth is, you built that old identity to survive, not to thrive. You learned to play small to shrink, to avoid judgment or failure. You adopted roles, masks, and routines that kept you safe, but not fulfilled. And while that version of you may have gotten through the hard times, it cannot take you to the next level. Evolution requires endings. It requires a funeral for the former self. Letting go of who you've been is not about shame or regret. It's about truth. It's about acknowledging that you've outgrown the story. It's realizing that the person who avoided risk, who hesitated, who doubted their worth, is no longer welcome on the journey ahead. If you truly want to rebuild your life, you must be willing to set fire to your comfort zone. You must burn the excuses, the crutches, the false narratives. That fire will hurt. It will test you. But in its ashes, something new will emerge. There is power in destruction when it is intentional. When you burn the old identity, you're not just getting rid of what doesn't serve you. You're making space. Space for clarity, strength, vision, and truth. You begin to realize that you are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not who others have told you to be. You are who you decide to become next. This process is not easy. You'll feel exposed, vulnerable, uncertain. There will be moments when you question if the old you was better, simpler, easier. But ease is not the measure of growth, truth is. And the truth is, deep down, you've always known there's more inside you. More potential. More discipline, more fire. But as long as you stay loyal to the old identity, you'll never meet the version of you that can build something extraordinary. You may have worn labels your whole life: lazy, broken, unlucky, too late, too much, not enough. Burn them all. You are not a label. You are not a fixed character in someone else's script. You are the author now, and authors get to rewrite. They get to destroy old chapters to create new ones with power, clarity, and conviction. So let the past go. Mourn it if you must. Honor the lessons, but don't romanticize the struggle. You survived it, yes, but now you are called to more than survival. You are called to create, to rise, to live with intention. The identity that will take you there must be built on new foundations: discipline, courage, resilience, and truth. Burn the old identity with purpose. Watch it fall away and feel the fear turn into freedom. Because on the other side of that fire is the real you. The one who isn't limited by the past, who isn't afraid of change, and who is finally ready to take full ownership of the future. Your mind is your most powerful tool, but like any tool, it either sharpens or dulls depending on how you use it. In the chaos of modern life, most people let their minds be shaped by noise, by endless scrolling, shallow opinions, and meaningless distractions. But if you truly want to rebuild yourself, if you're serious about becoming someone greater, you must take full control of what enters your mental space. You must feed your mind relentlessly with thoughts, ideas, and wisdom that elevate you. Because what you feed your mind will eventually shape your identity, your decisions, your actions, and ultimately, your destiny. You have to start treating your mind like a garden. You can't expect it to grow anything worthwhile if you're constantly dumping garbage into it. Negative people, mindless entertainment, and constant comparison plant weeds in your thinking. And if you're not intentional, those weeds take over. They choke your vision. They rob you of belief. They make you doubt what you're capable of becoming. But when you feed your mind daily with truth, with insight, with disciplined thought, something remarkable happens. You start to reprogram your reality from the inside out. This isn't about becoming obsessed with motivation or chasing hype. It's about quiet, steady nourishment. It's about replacing distraction with direction. Read books that challenge you. Listen to voices that call you higher. Reflect on ideas that make you uncomfortable, and do it every day. Not just when you feel inspired, but especially when you don't. Because it's in those low energy moments, those invisible hours, that your mindset is either strengthened or sabotaged. Your thoughts are not random, they're shaped by repetition. What you hear, read, and focus on the most becomes your inner voice. So you must take back control. Start your day by building your mental armor. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach for something that sharpens you. Instead of soaking in content that drains you, consume what develops you. Every day is a chance to grow in wisdom or sink in distraction, and you get to choose which path you walk. When you feed your mind relentlessly, something deeper begins to change. You start thinking differently. You begin asking better questions. You stop reacting and start responding with purpose. You stop looking for shortcuts and start building substance. This is how you separate yourself, not by luck, not by connections, but by thought. Most people want success, but few take the time to think at the level success requires. They want change without discipline. They want results without rewiring their thinking. But the mind must evolve before the life does. And it's not just about learning new things. It's about unlearning the old. Unlearning fear, doubt, limitations, and everything you've picked up from a world that often teaches you to stay small. Feeding your mind isn't just addition. It's subtraction too. It's clearing space for higher thought. It's making room for the person you're becoming. This journey of rebuilding yourself isn't just physical. It's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, and it begins in the mind. A sharp mind leads to clear action. A disciplined mind creates consistent effort, and a focused mind becomes unstoppable. So protect it, challenge it, stretch it, fill it with truth, with strength, with vision. Because once your mind is fed with purpose, everything else in your life begins to align. Adversity is not the enemy. It is the architect of strength, the silent teacher that forges resilience, character, and grit in ways comfort never could. Most people run from adversity. They see it as something to avoid, something unfair, something that holds them back. But those who rise, those who transform, see adversity for what it truly is, an invitation to grow, to evolve, to become more than they were yesterday. You do not build strength in easy seasons. You build it in the struggle, in the nights when nothing makes sense, in the days when quitting feels like the only option. Adversity strips away the superficial. It shows you who you really are. It reveals whether your commitment is real or just convenience disguised as passion. When things fall apart, you either break or you build. You either surrender or you shape something new from the rubble. That's why adversity is the architect, because it doesn't ask you politely to level up. It forces you to. There are moments in life when pain becomes your only companion. When people leave, when plans fail, when your best effort still isn't enough. In those moments, you learn the kind of lessons no book, no seminar, no speech could ever teach you. You learn how to stand when your legs are shaking, how to speak life to yourself when no one else believes in you, how to move forward, even if it's just 1 inch at a time. Adversity builds that kind of inner strength, the kind that doesn't flinch under pressure, the kind that doesn't fold in silence, the kind that outlasts circumstance. Adversity doesn't just test your strength. It reveals the strength you didn't know was there. You begin to discover how much you can actually endure, how much you're capable of. And once you realize that, the fear of struggle begins to fade. You no longer dread the challenges. You expect them. You learn to lean into the hard times because you know they're not breaking you, they're building you. This doesn't mean you enjoy the pain. It means you stop resisting the process. You begin to understand that every hardship is part of a bigger blueprint, that every failure carries a lesson, and every loss creates space for something new to rise. You don't have to like adversity to learn from it. You just have to keep moving through it with the belief that there is something on the other side worth fighting for. If you are facing adversity right now, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask instead, "What is this shaping in me?" That shift in mindset changes everything. It transforms suffering into purpose. It turns setbacks into stepping stones. And it empowers you to take ownership even when the odds are against you. You don't become strong by wishing for it. You become strong by surviving what was meant to destroy you. You become strong by showing up again and again, even when nothing around you changes. That is the kind of strength adversity builds. The kind that doesn't just help you endure life, but allows you to lead it with clarity, with resilience, with a backbone forged in struggle. Adversity doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. And when you respond with courage, with faith, with perseverance, you are not just surviving the storm. You are being shaped by it into someone wiser, someone tougher, someone ready for the next level. So don't resent the hardship. Use it. Let it refine you. Let it carve out the greatness that easy times could never reach. Because adversity is not here to stop you. It's here to prepare you for everything you were meant to become. There is a force inside you more powerful than any doubt, fear, or limitation you've ever faced. It is belief. But not just any belief, unshakable belief. The kind that doesn't waver when life gets hard. The kind that stands tall in the face of failure. The kind that moves forward even when the path isn't clear. Acting with unshakable belief is what separates those who try from those who do. It is what transforms thoughts into action, and action into achievement. Without belief, the journey ends before it begins. With it, even the impossible becomes a target waiting to be reached. Most people wait to feel ready before they act. They wait for permission, for validation, for some external sign that says, "You can do this." But the truth is that moment rarely comes. Belief is not something you find. It's something you choose. You decide to believe before the results show up. You decide to believe in your ability to grow, to learn, to overcome, even when nothing around you is working. That decision, made in silence, made in solitude, is the foundation of every great breakthrough. Unshakable belief is not blind optimism. It is not pretending everything is easy or perfect. It is knowing that challenges will come and still refusing to back down. It is seeing the obstacles and deciding to climb anyway. It is failing and choosing to rise again with your head high. That kind of belief comes from discipline, from repetition, from showing up daily and proving to yourself that you are not the kind of person who gives in when it gets tough. You act with unshakable belief when you speak your vision out loud, even if no one else sees it. You act with belief when you invest in your growth, even if the payoff isn't immediate. You act with belief when you hold the line on your values, your habits, your direction, while others around you drift. And the more you act from that place, the stronger the belief becomes. It's a cycle. Belief fuels action, and action reinforces belief. There will be voices, both within and around you, that try to plant doubt. You're not ready. You've failed before. What if you're not good enough? These thoughts are natural, but they are not the truth. The truth is you were born with the capacity to create, to endure, to rise. The truth is the same fire that drove every great leader, thinker, and doer throughout history also burns in you. But it only lights the way when you trust it, when you walk with it. Don't wait for evidence to believe. Be the evidence. Be the one who shows what belief looks like in action. Be the one who stays consistent when others fall off. Be the one who turns rejection into redirection. The world respects those who believe in themselves, not because they're perfect, but because they refuse to quit. That's what unshakable belief is: relentless conviction that you are meant for more, paired with the daily courage to act like it. So whatever your dream is, start now. Walk like it's already yours. Train like you're already chosen. Build like it's already working. And when the doubts come, remember this: you don't need a guarantee to act, you need belief. And once you decide to act with that belief, nothing can stand in your way. Not fear, not failure, not time. Because belief backed by action becomes power. And that kind of power reshapes everything. The time has come to stop waiting. Stop waiting for the right moment. The right people, the perfect motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. The truth is, no one is coming to save you, and no one is going to build the life you dream of except you. Everything you need is already within you. The fire, the strength, the discipline, the vision. But it will remain dormant unless you rise and take action. This journey of rebuilding yourself begins in the silence of your own decision. A decision to leave behind the old identity. A decision to embrace solitude, to feed your mind with truth, to welcome adversity, and to act with unwavering belief. Rebuilding is not a quick fix. It's not about appearing strong. It's about becoming strong. It's about doing the inner work alone, when no one's watching. It's about crafting a mindset so powerful that no outside force can shake it. The world will not hand you greatness. It will not reward the passive. But it will respect the one who moves with intention, who chooses purpose over pleasure, and who walks forward, day after day, no matter what. Let this be your reminder: you are not defined by your past. You are not trapped by your old habits. You are not a victim of your current situation. You are a creator. You are capable of reinventing yourself at any moment. And that moment is now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Rebuild yourself with relentless focus, move with discipline, face adversity head on, feed your mind, burn the old, and act with belief so deep that doubt doesn't stand a chance. Because once you take full ownership of who you are becoming, there is nothing and no one that can stop you.